Let's move on and talk about Ultimate X. #1, teaming up Jeff Loeb and Art Adams to take down the Ultimate Universe once again.
Yeah, it's about time someone shattered the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, what do you guys think about this? We're sometimes hard on Jeff Loeb, is maybe one way of putting it.
I thought he was much better back in form here. I really liked it.
Yeah, well, for those of you who didn't read it, this is kind of, Wolverine was killed in the Ultimatum event in the Ultimate Universe. This is following, spoiler, I guess, maybe, no, Wolverine's son in the Ultimate
I
Universe.
think that you can sort of see move here.
Oh!
Okay.
Claws reveal.
That is a big bubblegum bubble. That is really impressive.
She's the real mutant in this panel.
Cool, and there's our review of Ultimate X.
So yeah, Wolverine's son sort of finds out he has powers, and some X-Men show up, and they're like, "Yo, you're Wolverine's son." He's like, "Snicked." And then his claws, which are bone, they're like, "Weren't his claws adamantium?" And as if like an editor was doing it, they go, and they're adamantium. And Kitty Pryde's like, "Well, Colossus was made of metal, so." And that advanced. That's the whole thing.
Don't you think that's probably like who his mom is though? Like maybe
Colossus?
No, like his mom is like maybe Mercury or Emma Frost or.
I guess.
You know, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, who's the mom?
I was thinking it was a wordsmith that as soon as you said adamantium, Jacob would appear.
Wordsmith?
Yeah, you know,
It's
someone
like
who's
ghostwriter?
Yeah.
Here's the weirdest thing to me about this issue, and I'm sure this is not on purpose. This is so nitpicky and ridiculous, but the first page of this issue has a drag race that's going on.
Racing for pinks.
Yeah, Racing for Pinks. And it is
Pink
the
slip.
exact same layout as the first page of Batgirl #1, the issue that just came out.
You've gone too far.
Yeah. Is that the nerdiest thing I've ever said on the show?
I don't know. It's so hard to keep track. See so many nerdy things.
Yeah. Did you guys like this issue?
Not really. It's very. I think you said it's very much like Superman's origin, where
Yeah.
I mean, instead of a plane crashing or a rocket, it's like a car, and he comes out and he has the claws and everything. It seems like it's setting up some sort of later. The adamantium coming out of his hand. I was just like, and no even gesture toward an explanation. It's as if he's bleeding metal, and then they're like, and he's like, awesome. If I'm him, I'm like, wait, did I just bleed metal? What's going on? Should I look into this? Is there a doctor? A mutant doctor I can go to?
Well, I mean, part of the reason is he's a hick simpleton,
Yeah.
so
True.
he doesn't really care too
I
much.
feel like you'll really like this comic if you can overlook the bubbles and ridiculously detailed backpacks. If you can overlook those things, you'll really
On the
get
other hand, fans of backpacks will love this issue.
yeah. It's a walking transport ad. We're
Whoa.
basically
Just a quick, I'm sorry to interrupt. Just a quick poll. Who's a big fan of backpacks?
I love them. Like, what a great way to carry your books. Someone tell me a better way to carry your books.
That's your bag.
Bad for your shoulders.
Spider web bag.
Misalignment, sir.
Art Adams' art is great in this issue.
It's great for your back.
Nice. Cool. We're going to move on. Talk about Demo #1 from Vertigo. This is a reboot of the series from Ryan Wood and Becky Cloonan. Basically, what if you had superpowers and what if it was in real life? I guess that's a way of putting it in the series, right? And each issue was done in one story. They previously did, I think it was 12 issues, or was it 6?
It was more than 6. I don't know if it was 12.
It was 11 issues.
Once again, just fact checking. Just fact checking.
Great. What do you guys think about this?
The art's fantastic. Panel by panel, there's just some beautiful panels here. But this is.
Yikes.
Shut up. The story's not one of my favorite ones. The first, however many issues, the first series, however many issues it was, had some really great stories. This one's a little light and sort of predictable, but I'm excited the series is back, and I look forward to more.
predictable. It's messed up. Like, she has a dream, and then she goes like, oh, I had this dream where I went to London and fell off a balcony. I know, I'll wake up and I'll go to London and fall off a balcony. What?
No, but she thought that someone else was falling off the balcony, so she was going to go and try to save them.
Either way, it's a bad idea. If you have a nightmare about something...
If you had a dream that I was falling off some sort of balcony, wouldn't you want to get there and try to see if I was going to do it?
No, I would get there and get some popcorn and be like, oh, no. I wouldn't. No? The problem is, if I have a nightmare about something, I don't then try to reenact it. I think that's a bad idea. What's that?
Just call him and be like.
Why don't you just call me anyway?
Yeah, that's a fair
Pete, we used to be friends. Really? No. Nah, come on.
point. An amazing exploration of nightmares and dreams. And
Nightmares and dreamscapes.
Friendships.
That's great. Danny Kluge's art is great in this issue, regardless of the story, which is well written, I think, even if it is pretty predictable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's predictable to have a nightmare and then try to reenact it?
She doesn't try to reenact it. She's like, I gotta go to the Vatican, or no, to St. Paul's.
The other
It's a
night-
dream,
the other
and then
night I
buys a
had
plane
a
ticket.
nightmare where I was drowning in a pool full of hamsters. I went to the pet store. I was able to get up to 5 hamsters, which was not enough.
It's funny that the pet store will only let you, Alex Alvin, get like.
It's a recurring nightmare.
Yeah.
Cool. Last but not least.
Well,
oh yes.
Zane, you were at the premiere.
I was at the release.
The release.
Yeah,
Premiere.
I'm excited. I'm excited that the series is back. I really like Becky's art, and I always I pick up anything Brian Wood does pretty
Yeah.
much. I mean, you know, maybe even a bad Brian Wood story, it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a great.
Yeah, that's a pull quote from the front cover of the trade.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Ghost Riders, Heavens on Fire, number 5, the last issue of Ghost Riders by Jason Aaron. We've talked about this before on the show. I've never been a fan of Ghost Rider. Ever.
Hey, you hated it.
I hated Ghost Rider until Jason Aaron was writing it, and I loved this series. And part of the thing,
That's
one of the
weird.
things that I really loved about the series is he has a really great sense of humor about it, but also understands a guy riding around on a bike with a flaming skull for a head is totally awesome.
Yeah.
Let me figure out a way of making this awesome rather than like, oh, I'm really upset about my flaming skull head. Let's go hang out at the cemetery.
Nicolas Cage impression.
Right there.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Even in the beginning, it's like, man, it sucks. Like every night, my flesh burns off, and like, I go through a lot of clothes that way.
Yeah. he's really bummed out. He's a great.
There is, I think my favorite new character in the Marvel Universe is tiny newsboy Ghost Rider, who's in one of the last pages, who talks in like chip chip 1920s speak while he's inflating Skullhead. So,
I want to know at what point God or whoever makes Ghost Riders just like, that kid, that newsboy is going to be my avenging angel on the earth. And then his head bursts into flames, and he was like, well, I better finish delivering these so murder people or whatever. I really like this, but you're right. It's sort of like, awesome, and then have another one with a flaming, and he's awesome, and 100 of them, and they fight an angel. Fuck yeah! I know a bunch of musicians. I played a guy to just shred on an electric guitar while I was reading this, and it really added to the experience. It was a great way to experience a comic book. It just goes to show you put Jason Aaron, a great writer, on anything, and he can make it good. Think about it. I mean, it's not, you don't have to think too much. Just listen to what I said.
Jason, anything you can think of that Jason Aaron couldn't have written? A 40-issue blob miniseries.
40 mini.
Would you have to lose the term mini series if it was 40 issues?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, he could make that good.
Good.
In your face! Prove me wrong! Prove me wrong!
No, you've proven your point by saying it was so.
Yeah.
Yes. Guys, that's it for the stack.